Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome to Life is Feudal. In this series, unlike the previous ones where I was doing tutorials, in this series we're actually going to run around, explore the game, and kind of set a goal. I'm really going to try and get a house built. I've never done it. I only know the very basics of the game. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to get there, but we're going to try, and we'll do this over the course of maybe, a number of episodes, probably 3 to 5, somewhere in there. We could go longer if you guys want to see more, or if we haven't hit the goal and I'm still really enjoying myself. So hopefully you guys can leave me a like and or a comment on this video if you want to see more. That definitely helps me know you guys are interested in this. So basically, as you can see in the distance, there's actually a road out there. So this is actually human-made, player-made, I should say. And on this server, some people have got together, and if I pan over here, you can see they've got a town going on. Now, I know a number of these guys now. They've welcomed me here, and I've been playing here for a few days, getting accustomed to things, gathering some basic items, and kind of learning the early game, the very, very basics. In fact, some of the videos you've seen have taken place here. So anyway, we're at the point now where I feel like, you know what, let's get our own place set up. Now, while they did welcome me into the town, within the walls there, they want to kind of build everything. So they said, well, we can make you a house and that kind of stuff, but we want to set everything up in here. And I actually wanted to do some stuff myself, so I thought I better step outside the town and do my own thing. And in fact, I am standing on the spot where I want to get started. This one took me a while to find. I get very picky in games if I'm going to settle down. It takes me a while to figure it out. So I went ahead and spent the last couple days in-game trying to figure that out and came to the conclusion that this was a good spot for me. I'll put hopefully if we get this far, I can get a hut made and put here. I thought it's got a nice vantage point of the west coast, which I really like. And obviously they have the road coming in, which is cool. And of course we're near the town as well. If I bring up the map here, we can actually zoom this in. You can see we're up here kind of between the lake and the coast. And the town being up in this valley, and out here we've obviously got our view of the ocean. So we even have some clay nearby. That's the strip of brown over there, so that's really good. And access to rocks is not far from here. So I kind of have everything nearby that's needed. So I think this is really a good place to go. You can see I've actually moused over a snare trap over there. I think Ghost probably set that out. And we'll get to see some of those guys over there. We'll go check out the town in a bit. But for now, I want to show you actually a closer look at the property here. Okay, so in order to put the hut down, we're going to need a flat area. In fact, there goes Ghost, I believe. He's roaming around here. He might be looking for that snare I actually saw earlier. Who knows? He might be looking for any number of things. But we've got the terrain leveled out here a little bit. That's going to be key. You need a 4x4 grid area for your home, and it has to be flat. The way to determine that is actually to right-click or hit Q on the ground. We're going to go to Terraforming and Observe. And if I zoom in here, you'll see we've got a number of values. Now, I am actually currently standing in the bottom left-hand portion of the 4x4 grid. So if I kind of mouse up here, that's a column, and then it goes over to there, it comes down to there, and then back to me. You'll see that these squares here, what is it, 9, right? No, not 9, 12. 4 times 3, Weem. These 3 columns essentially are all at 14.7. I've got these 2 at 14.7, but then these guys are a little bit low. We're going to have to raise this up. And the way to do that is to put soil down, but of course we have to pick up soil from somewhere. So because the grid is actually going to be in this area, I'm thinking I'll take some soil from maybe this column over here so that I have a lower front to the raised area where the hut will be. Now each tenth here, we're looking at 14.7, so 14.8, every tenth is kind of one action of digging or placing dirt. So if I need these guys to get to 14.7, I need to drop 0.4 units of soil here, or basically raise this 4 times. Now if I jump back out here, come back out to the menu, bring up my inventory, I had it, that's right. I thought I still had it in my inventory. But I had 30 units of soil, and that 30, that quantity, is basically one action of digging or raising the terrain. So let's actually step over here. We know that right along here was the column I wanted to dig. So we're going to select this, go to terraforming, and then I'm actually going to right click lower ground level, and that sets it as the default up here. So I can select this and start digging. So again, once I dig this up, it's going to give me 30 soil, or 1/10 of a unit of elevation, essentially. So you can see we got the 30 soil in here now. And let's go ahead and step back over here. So we know the area was right in here. What I like to do is actually find out. If I go to Terraforming Observe again, I go and I step on the area that I need to raise. So the 14.7s are what we're looking for. So I'm going to stand on the 14.3 and escape. Then select it and say raise the ground. Now normally what I would be doing here is I would gather a bunch of soil until I couldn't gather anymore. Then I would come place it down until, you know, it was exactly where I wanted it. But I just wanted to give you a quick look at how that works. So you can see that this is a 14.4 instead of a 14.3. So we just need to do that for these next two squares. I'm kind of walking between here, and then we'll have our raised area. Now, once I know that, I'm not ready for a hut yet, but at least I'll know where the hut's going to go, and I can start working on some other things. For example, I need to be making some tools like workbenches and a furnace, none of which I've made before. So we're going to get to that, and I'm probably going to put these back here somewhere outside of the grid, obviously, where the hut's going to go. Well, we're starting to lose light here as the sun goes down. I do have the terrain leveled out, so we're pretty set as far as getting the hut in here goes. Now, of course, we're far from making the hut. I still have no idea how to go about that. I certainly have some friends here I can hit up and ask them. They've got plenty of huts over there, and we may even need to borrow some material, but I would like to build it myself, and so that's kind of what this was going to be about, exploring. Now, because we have the area down here, I can now think about where I want to put some of the tools. And if that's our grid, I was kind of thinking we would put them back here a bit. Now, part of me wants to level the terrain out here as well before we put the tools down. But I think I can move... maybe you can't move the workbenches and stuff like that. Not entirely sure. So anyway, we may hold off on that, but we do have this set up for now. So I think what we're going to do is make sure that we have some other things taken care of, some things you may not know about here. On the bottom left, we have an alignment meter at the top. Has a 0 with a dash in the middle. So if we kill people, that kind of tweaks and indicates to others that we have done harm to other players. The one next to it is actually our hunger, and that's kind of the next thing I want to take care of. Below that we have hit points, and then below that we have stamina. But right now the hunger is getting down a little low, so I want to go ahead and take care of that. I do have apples, which are actually really good. I'm going to go ahead and eat one of those. You'll see we'll go from 22 up to, we're going to take a big jump, I think 60, 70 something there. So that's cool. And I do have a number of things that we can plant. If you watch my previous video, the tutorial on farming, you know that I can plant any number of these guys here. And again, part of that is knowing where we were going to eventually put the hut. So we can actually get to work on the farm at some point pretty soon. Start planning this stuff out, nearby. Now, of course, we're going to have to consider new players or bandits coming into the area. Players who basically are just out to take things from people. They can certainly come harvest the crops and everything, and I'm going to try not to leave too much laying around that they can walk away with, but I'm also not going to worry about it too much if crops are taken, or if I leave a stack of wood somewhere and somebody walks off with it. That's fine. It's part of the game. We can get all of that back. But for now, because we're losing light, I think we'll hold off on doing a whole lot for now and wait till the sun comes up. And in the meantime, probably just gather some sticks off branches around here and maybe scoop some food, go digging through the brush for things that we can eat. Definitely helps. Okay, the sun is starting to come up on us, and I thought I would show you this little thing that I thought I would do. Basically, we have the raised area here. It's going to be this grid, this square essentially, and I thought I would lay down logs showing where the edges were. I thought that might look kind of cool. And I've done 2 so far, so let me run back here and show you how we do that. You can see I've got 2 trees chopped down here. I think we'll go ahead and take this one out. Let's check this. Yeah, cool. See if there was any other good options in there, but nope. So this is good. We're going to chop this guy down. Doesn't take much for us. We're pretty good. This guy comes down, and we're going to go ahead and lift this guy up. Now, I could get down there with the saw and chop it into boards and everything, and we are going to need to do that. We need some materials. But I'm going to go ahead and walk this over. You can see we're very slow carrying these very heavy logs. So I'm going to walk this right over to here and find this square. Go ahead and drop it. Now once it drops it, we can move around a little bit. You can see we're still holding it, but that's because we have to figure out how we're going to place it. And I'm thinking that my angle wasn't exactly perpendicular with the other piece, so I think we're going to do this, and we're going to have to adjust the other guy. And then we'll lower it down. A little hard to tell from here. Kind of watch the ground there. I want it sunk in a little bit. Something like that. We'll go ahead and place that. And then what we'll do is we can straighten this other guy out a bit. We can just pick it back up. Lift it up. Cool. And then I think in order to select this, I had to be down here a bit. Okay. Rotate this guy. Gonna move it around. Lower it down. And let's see. We may have to go that way a bit. Let's see what this is doing over here. Okay, not too bad. We'll go ahead and place that. So there you go. We're basically putting a trim around our edge. And for those of you who watch any of my other videos where we can craft and build things, you know I like my trim. I love my trim. So I'm kind of thinking that we're going to keep the terrain level all the way over to here and keep a steep edge down this way, and then basically make a ramp that kind of comes up into this. Now we had the grid leveled out already, but I actually came over here. You could probably see this area I'm looking at over to the stump and kind of along here. I've leveled this out as well, so we have a place to start putting, you know, a furnace, a workbench, things like that. So yeah, I think this is turning into a pretty cool spot, and I'm going to try to make this a bit defensible. Like I said, I'm going to go steep edges all the way around there. I think that could be pretty fun, and sometimes at night I'm kind of just looking to tear up some terrain rather than run all over the place, so that'll give me something to do. But anyway, I think we're going to leave it at that for now. I really appreciate you guys coming in here and checking this out. I hope you follow along. Please do leave a like and or a comment letting me know you'd like to see more. If that's the case, I'm definitely going to be looking to that. I plan on playing this a bit some more, but it's that kind of feedback that determines whether I continue to do it on the channel or not. So yeah, like I said, we're going to go ahead and see how far we can get with this. The goal here being to build a hut. I'm not sure how long that will take, but as long as you guys are still interested in watching, I will keep bringing that to the channel until we get to that point. So yeah, thanks for stopping in, everybody. I appreciate it as always, and we'll catch you next time.